Okay.
We have one more ball.
Let's get on to the one that is by far the most Marmite of all the balls. This is definitely going to be a love it or hate it ball, I think. As with everything on the urethane side. Here she is. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this one hooks a lot. This is a brand new, fresh house shot. Mel's has a lot of oil, so this is hooking a ton for what we're bowling on. I drilled mine with a 4 3/4 inch pin, a 4 1/4 inch mass bias, and I think it was a 4.5 inch pin buffer, which for Jake, yes, I did drill it pin down.
I drilled the pin up one, 5-inch pin, basically. This was, if we weren't doing ball reviews, I would not have drilled this ball. I wouldn't even bother. No. Asymmetrical core. We've been down this road before. They didn't roll particularly good for me. Didn't like them. They hooked too much in the front. They're too lazy in the back. And then we threw it. And
I'm really not joking with people. The only thing I did to edit that video was cut out the in-between of me walking back. I text Chris when I first drilled it. I was like, this thing's incredible. I've shot like 18 strikes in a row with it to start.
And this is the same. This is just shot after shot after shot. And it hooks 5 to 6 more than a fast pitch. I don't have to throw it slow. I don't have to grab it to make it hook. Probably the closest bar action for me when I went to the World Championships, and this is the pattern we're bowling on, is the World Championships pattern that was over in Dubai. I used it off the reality, and I moved a half right off of it, and basically could throw it the same. It was a little earlier and a little smoother, and it was basically just a carry move. I used it a lot over there. I kept waiting for it to do that thing where it forces you left, and then it won't hook down lane. And it kept hooking down lane, even when the lanes got tighter during the week. And that 43 turned into 44 and felt like 45 feet. In reality, it started to struggle to get back through the pins. That ball kept rolling in that oil down lane. And I hate to say it, but I liked it.
Yeah. I actually don't see it as a urethane ball at all. I almost see it as a completely different category for me. I just see it as a strong control ball.
Yeah, and that's basically where I took it. I was going to take something like an Axiom over there, and I basically replaced it with this ball because it hooked enough that I could be smooth with it and do a couple things. This is a good question because this ball hooked so much that I was starting to question whether it really was urethane. But while we were over there, we bowled Baker doubles, and I was bowling with Hess, and we bowled 2 games and only on 1 lane. And I started using it in one of the sets, and in the second set we bowled on it twice in a row. We would get in halfway through the second game, and his ball would stop making it through the pins. And I think he was throwing an Axiom, and it would start to back off and flat 10, and he didn't flat 10 much the whole week. And when it happened the second time, it took about 6 to 8 shots, but it certainly did do the urethane deal where it started to shove it down the lane. It was hard to get it up the hill. And so, yes, it's indeed urethane and follows some of those characteristics with it.
Because it flares so much more, it doesn't do it quite as violently, I don't think.
Right.
It's more gradual.
Right. It really snowplows. Even though it does flare, though, it still pushes down, but not as much as the balls that don't flare at all. And, like I said, I was prepared to completely hate this ball. I ended up taking it to the World Championships after a week of practice. I used it over there a lot off the reality and Axiom Pearl. It was pretty good. We saw a question of what would Packy do, I think it was earlier. And
Packy currently rethinking his sponsorship. I'm not sure. I'm not. We're not going there. It's like someone here says, the Purple Hammer Killer. No, we're not playing that game. Like, that's it. It's dumb. It's the same as when the other companies used to compare all their balls to the High Road. To me, it's not really that. It's not really that similar to the Purple Hammer. It just hooks. It hooks miles. Like on the fresh, it hooks miles. Now, I haven't got to use it enough late on in tournaments to know whether it's going to be the answer for me. When the pitch blacks get too lazy, I don't know because I haven't really got to use it. I think that having this in the bag, like I say, I consider this to be the one where I'm going to bowl on those. This is where I'm most excited. Let me start again. I'm most excited to use the UC3 on those patterns where I don't have enough hand to use urethane and some of the other guys do, and they can control the pocket and strike, and I'm using reactive balls and really struggling to control the pocket at the start of a block. Yeah. That's where I'm most excited to use this ball. I don't really see it as using it ever at the same time. So, I don't think I'll be using the pitch black and go, you know what? UC3 is going to be good off this because the gap is going to be enormous for me.
It'll still be enormous. I think where the biggest advantage is you can go from this to reactive without changing everything, which is kind of the problem right now. And I think it is a ball that you can throw when a lot of those purple balls are going in the lane, and it's going to give you a chance to follow similar shapes and do similar things without quite as much difference. As far as grits, I'm assuming you mean like 2,000, 3,000. I've only done 1,000 and 500 because I'm looking to smooth the shape out. I'm not looking to get it longer. We have lots of other ones that will go straighter.
And also, I think the thing with urethane is you want it to pick up early because it doesn't really quit. Most of the reason when you throw a ball that you don't want it to pick up early is because it's going to quit. Urethane never really quits. It's all about getting it started. So by taking the surface up, it doesn't really help because you don't really in the perfect world, you would always want the ball to start hooking as soon as it hit the lane and be rounded. That would be the perfect ball motion because the skid is the inconsistent part. In my mind, anyway. That's why urethane works so good because you've got less skid. It's why it's easy to control the pocket.
It's all about control, and why the guys on tour use it because the average rev rate's almost 475 now, and you don't need a ton of angle when you have that much speed and rev rate. Comparison to pitch purple or pro motion?
No comparison.
Not really. Pitch purple is probably my least favorite of all the urethanes.
Yeah, the pitch purple
oil, and this is the opposite.
Yeah, the pitch purple was really responsive, I felt like. And I tell you, the pitch purple did have really small niches where it was amazing. Like when we bowled on that 38-foot flat at the Ironman, I could like dead end over end it, get it to start and stop in the same spot because it would pick up so violently and it would get forward.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent of a pearl urethane.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Pro motion for me looked good one time. I had
never threw it, so
it was amazing. The PBA league, I went 10 for 10 or something on the PBA league. It was great. I could throw it slow. It was super rounded and smooth. I never really saw it as a urethane. I just saw it as
just
smoother, weaker ball.
And that's kind of where the UC3 fits in as well. It is urethane, but it fits in as a smooth ball, and I don't have to do a lot of things crazy different with it. Hand and speed wise to make it hook enough.
I'll answer this one quickly. No. If you want to look, I have actually used the fever pitch on TV and I bowled a pretty decent game with it, but I almost ate 10 as well. So I had high hopes for the fever pitch when I used it in Arlington.
Yeah.
And it never really lived up to that after that. Jesper bowled great with it in Arlington as well. But it just, some balls, they try something, especially when you're just trying to find that small differences with the urethane. And that I don't think that was one that they were.
Yeah. As the week went on, that World Championships thing on 43 feet, and the back end got a little tighter, so we lost some of the right. This ball really came into play for me, and in the last round robin, I used it the whole time. I was 6 for 6, and half pocket snapped it out of there, and then it did a lot of the right things. And so it'll definitely be in Shawnee with me this weekend, and as well as the Sioux Scammer, of course, the Badger Urethane, and and probably a either fast pitch or another Booyah or pitch black along with it, because Urethane has been decent there in the past. But if possible, reality, those kind of things, like you said, smoother balls have been better. Not that we want anybody else to pick up on that.
Yeah. Yes, Jeremy, that's the only one he's drilled so far.
Yeah, I definitely did not order 2 of these, as I would not have ordered 1 until now. Basically, I've seen them around. It was good enough that I had more than a dozen people ask me if that's what it was, and like, oh my God, that thing hooks, and wow, I may have to drill one of those. I may have to get one of those, because it was the first for all the Storm nation around the world that struggled to get one to hook enough to keep up on some of this. That was the first one that we'd seen that did. So
absolutely, Dalton. Right now, I would say Storm did some pretty cool videos, actually. If you go on their YouTube channel, theirs and Rotogrip's YouTube channels, comparing like fast pitch and pitch black, and it actually helped me a little bit to see a bit more clarity for what they were thinking with where they'd stack them. They had the fast pitch as the cleanest, and then it was the weakest, the cleanest and the weakest. Then they had the pitch black, and then they had the UC3. So they actually laid them out next to each other, and they had some different styles, some higher rev rates, some blare through it, so a lower rev rate player. It was kind of interesting.
They're significantly different. There's just no other way around it. I didn't understand the marketing behind the Rubicon and UC2 are both really good balls. I didn't get the point of making a urethane ball in that line, but
like I say, I said it at the time. I said this is the ball that I think is the most pointless, but I've been proved wrong plenty of times before, so let's see.
Yeah.
And yet again, you win, Alex.
There's a reason why we don't live in Utah, I guess.
So and that's good to hear, I guess, in a way, that the distributors sold out the UC3s already. That's cool that we've got a buzz going for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wraps it up. I have no idea what we're going to do for the product show next month. I don't know if there's a new ball coming. I don't know anything. But if there isn't, then we will come up with maybe we'll have a review show of all the balls of the year.
Maybe we can do a best ball of the year review show.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas, don't be afraid to let us know, either in the comments or send us a message on Facebook if you have some ideas for it. We appreciate you guys tuning in again. We should be back on track with the show now that Chris is home. Should be good through the year. Please continue to check out the YouTube channel. We've definitely been having a good buzz the last few weeks. I'm still messing around, so I'm hoping for you guys to have a better sound quality going forward. I've certainly paid for it. Now I've got to figure out how to use it. So we appreciate you, and keep hitting the like button.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to see longer clips and more comparison stuff with these two, with the balls, head over to the YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe there. There's some great footage there, and you'll get some real, on a couple of different patterns. There's some good stuff there, and so get a better idea what it is and what they do. I don't even know if they make balls that can do this, but Alan, but we'll try. Larry Stepp, one of the 5 or 6 bowlers that were a lot better than I was in high school, and continued on for a while after that. I appreciate it, Larry. Hope everything's great up there in the Kansas City area. Tim Watson may have the clue for Alan, actually, and he's already had the 2 weeks after those last 2 series. So it's probably time for a practice session. Alan, meet us Wednesday and get this taken care of. But with that, thanks for joining us. My apologies for last week. That is all on me. I could not find stable internet consistently, so Stu tried, and I failed to find a suitable option. But we should be good moving forward, like you said. So
Dubai, it's easier to find a gold bar than it is to find an internet connection.
It's easier to find a 100-story building than it is to find an internet connection sometimes. But hey, that being said, we will be back on Thursday. And once again, if you can, please support the sponsors that support us. Storm, Rotograph, Manor Global, Vice, Coolway, 3G Shoes, Bowler's Mark, Mark Baker Bowling, Fire Lake Bowling Center, Platinum Ford, Lightning Strikes, and True Grit Coatings. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.
See you later, guys.